All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, and some more. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes. We know what's happening in the league. All sports, all plays, ASAP. Cause we know what's going down with your team. We'll bring you up to speed ASAP. Not talking about Rihanna's baby daddy, it's the network covering every play that's happening in the ring, on the field, on the courts, on the lane. We gon' cover the game, all sports, all play. All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, and some more. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes.
What is going on, everybody? This is the #1 combat sports show in the game, period. It is your co-host, Josh, from Throwing Hands. I got my boy, James. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. It's a crazy weekend, but I'm glad it's over. It's Tuesday. We're into the week. You know, did a lot of stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, bro. If people only knew how much stuff I could fit on top of my car and put some straps on it and get away with.
Gotta get it done. You gotta get it done, right?
Yeah, exactly. And for the fans, we just recently moved, so now we have some new opportunities opening up, especially since we're more centralized. We could definitely knock a lot more stuff out.
Right, man. So, UFC.
Bro, I'm both surprised and not surprised with some of the fights. With Henry Cejudo and Merab, that one I did see coming.
You did say that. That was one of my surprises. I was surprised by that. The Volk. Okay, Volk. We talked about this, and it was a surprising but unsurprising one because what's his name is so darn good.
Topuria?
Yes, but listen, Sleeping Beauty. I was not expecting Sleeping Beauty. I was not expecting that. He was pretty. He caught a lot of Z's. Put it like that.
I'm very impressed with Ilia Topuria too, because it's like, bro, when you think about it, he's 27, so he's my age exactly. He started off with Greco-Roman wrestling because he was born in Germany to Georgian parents, lived in Georgia till he was 7, and then moved to Spain, and that's where he started Greco-Roman wrestling. And now look at him with his boxing, bro. Like Volkanovski was defended that belt 11 times before Topuria came in.
Yeah, I mean, but it's always those guys. They have that streak, and then they come across someone that exposes them.
Yep, that kryptonite.
And I think that last one that Volk went through, man, he got exposed. And I don't know, man. We'll see, because I don't know if he's gonna be giving that up.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I hope he bounces back well from it, but yeah, it's like after that loss against Islam, and then he showed kind of like the chink in his armor. That's when it was just like, fuck.
Right. This weekend, PFA 6.
Yes, sir. We got some fights on there too. It's gonna be dope.
Man, I'm excited. There's a lot to be excited about on that card. Card. So definitely something that I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, for real. Not only that too, but we do have a special guest tonight. He's actually the son of one of the promoters of PFA.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have him on. I mean, tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, let me tell you something. This guy is fresh in the ring, slick and clean with shots that can't be seen. Call him the Flying Dutchman because he'd be leaving you punch drunk, stuck talking in double Dutcher. Now it's time to go berserker mode, put you in a state of free flow, a free fall. You can only stall the impending loss, only to have Rick Ross call him a boss like a prime Rainy Moss. But hey, I give you credit, you got some balls. to step in the cage with a man so deranged. He's insane, gonna leave you in a state of decay. He's a second gen cold cutter, turning fools into a bunch of suckers. Stuck with a permanent stutter. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no other but the one and only Seth Stucker. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on? That was
How
fucking
you?
awesome.
We gotta treat you right.
Hell
How you
yeah.
doing this fine Tuesday night?
Doing great, doing great. Just
Yeah,
sore.
thank you for joining us. All night. You just got done training, right?
Yeah, we got guys in training at Red Hawk Academy.
Nice,
So it's
nice.
been nice. It's been nice training with really good people over there and training over there, learning from Tim Welch and Jakar as my MMA coach. It's just been great.
That's pretty dope. You probably I saw Fred Suniga. He was just over at Red Hawk too. Did you get some training with him?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's like so many people there. It's like my second week there, so I'm still learning so many people's names.
Nice, nice. That's actually the gym I want to join. Is Red Hawk because it's literally like 15 minutes from us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've had quite a few guys on from there, and yeah, no, we that's a really, really, really good gym. So you said this is your second week there?
Yeah, my second week.
What gym were you training at before?
I was training at DeoFit.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Where's that at?
So that was off of Avondale, like 103rd or 100. Yeah, 103rd in Avondale over there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, that's not too far off either. Okay.
What made you swing over to Red Hawk?
Just I just needed that push. I was talking to my coach over there. I was talking to Damien, and we were just brainstorming. And we're like, well, I need that push if I really want to take those leaps in my career, because I've been doing this for so long, and I just need to take those steps if I want to go pro. So I need to
Mm-hmm.
train with the big dog, train over there with people who are like pushing and really grinding. So it's just nice to have that people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Because especially over there, like you got James Dietz, who's a phenomenal athlete. You've even got
Mhm.
Joseph Perez and Danny Flores.
Mhm.
So the variety too you have there is great. Because like your dad, he comes from a Dutch kickboxer background, and then
Mhm.
over at Red Hawk, you have a nice flow between a rhythm of some boxing, some kickboxing, a lot of jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and then you even got some wild cards that go in too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The jujitsu game over there is insane. Like there's
Right.
so many good people over there. Like I kind of thought I was a pretty good wrestler, but man, I've gone over there. It's like there's good wrestlers over there and good jujitsu people. So you're kind of just
Dang.
mixed in this group of people that are just animals. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of those names you named have some really good, really, really good stand up as well.
Mhm.
So, like you said, the dynamic that you have to train with is crazy over there. So like, he mentioned your dad briefly. So growing up, did you start at a really, really, really young age by having your dad being such an active fighter?
Yeah, I kind of started just stepping into his own footsteps. Like I kind of was taking over his own dynasty that he left me, his own destiny. So it was like, I was training at 10 years old. I was in there, and by the time I was like 13, I was grappling and striking with adults. Like I was the only kid. I was the only kid in all the adults classes. So it was cool to have those people, and a lot of those people right now, like Chris Aguapo,
Mhm.
Gutierrez, he's up there in the UFC right now, killing it. So it's awesome to be able to say like I've trained with those people. I've had those people in my life, and I've been able to train with pros and amateurs, and just had that different variety of push that a lot of
Mhm.
people haven't when they're stepping in for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think especially too, you're kind of in a very cool and unique situation with urine because of the opportunities you have. And one thing I've always kind of found fascinating with combat sports, especially, is that it seems that it really is built off legacy in a sense that typically you see the kids of fighters also become fighters versus like other avenues, they'll typically take different career routes.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Did Did you feel kind of pushed into it, or was it something that you were kind of wanting to do, something you already had that love for, and just kind of seeing your dad already doing it, so it was a little bit easier for you to get in access to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just it was one of those things. As soon as I got into it, as soon as I did it, it was like it felt like that was my thing. Like I've had time where I've taken years off of like training and stuff, and like it would eat me alive. Like it's just my thing, like fighting and going in there and training and pushing myself all the time. Like that's just been my drive. Like that's my medicine. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
do this. So I wouldn't say I was forced into anything, but I definitely learned from a young age. Like if you want to do this, this is what it's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially from a young age too, because it's almost like that fighter spirit, that like warrior blood is genetic. Because
Mhm.
when your dad has it, and like the stories he told us, when there were hardly any rules, and he'd be doing 6 to 8 fights back to back to back, all the wild shit that he went through, and for you to be able to evolve into that and be able to adapt a more cleaner skill set than even your own father.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've heard so many stories from that man, and it's just like to know that he did some of the craziest things. I mean, shoot, fighting 3 fights, and then the next day coming back. If you won them all, come back and fight 2 more, or come back and fight 3 more. It's like I would never do that.
Nah, bro, the wear and tear. I can only imagine the brutality.
For
Yeah,
real, and like the fact
it's
that they had
definitely
no weight
crazy.
classes either. They had no weight classes.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Open weight.
yeah. No, it's crazy to see where this sport has came from and where it's at today. Like you
Hmm.
said, I mean, just those things there. I mean, they're huge. The no
Mhm.
weight class stuff when the first couple of UFCs came around, that was insane, insane. I mean, I couldn't imagine some of these guys like the Mark Hunts and some of those big heavy hitters
Oh
fighting.
my
You
gosh,
know what I
bro.
mean?
You
So
gonna imagine Mighty Mouse versus Mark Hunt?
that was the first guy that came to my mind. But out of all the guys we could have picked, I think Mighty Mouse might mess around and whoop some of their asses regardless.
That is true. That is true. And then, bro, like I remember, wasn't it Frank Shamrock back in the day? He fought that one dude that was like what, 500 pounds?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the most memorable fights because they were talking about, it was such a weight differential because I think he was a sumo wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And and Kent made light work of him,
As soon as he fell, Ken just started laying it down. He was doing soccer kicks. It was a wrap.
That was crazy.
I mean, that's the other thing about those days, the soccer kicks,
Mm-hmm.
they were headbutting, oh my
Oh,
goodness.
bro.
No, it's crazy. So I know earlier you were talking about switching yeah, gyms because, you wanted to kind of turn up the competition while you're training, thoughts of going pro. Do you have kind of like a timetable or a plan in mind of your road to pro?
Yeah. So my dad's philosophy is 12 fights or more, as an amateur. But if I can squeeze out as many fights as I can this year, I'll probably end up going pro this year, probably next year or next year.
Okay. Okay, that's
Okay.
what's up. Especially too with how much combat sports between MMA, Muay Thai, even Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling tournaments currently, it's popping so much in Arizona that you have that opportunity now for this year.
Oh yeah, and I definitely want to go into some. I've seen like Ruff has really good MMA fights, and I want to go to Rise as well. Like these are some other organizations I would love to go check out and love to like
Mm-hmm.
compete in them and just kind of get my face out there a lot more. And obviously fight on the PFA, and I want to get on the next one for sure. Depending on whoever it is,
Mm-hmm.
whoever it may be.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely, Ruff's a great promotion to fight for. They put you through. I mean, they have a great circuit as far as
Hmm.
fighters are concerned. I mean, you fight with a lot over there at the current gym you're at. And then PFA is moving into MMA, so there's going to definitely be, and the Rise is great as well. I mean, so there's definitely going to be some options out there. You said you're trying to get into the next PFA.
Oh yeah.
That'll be dope. And too, we just as we posted the poster for this, we saw there were a lot of people that was saying Mike Kennedy wants to fight you.
Mike Kenny's been wanting to fight me for a while. I've been telling him, pick a time, pick a place, let's go. I'm down. Let's throw it down.
Okay, okay. Well, what started this between you and Mike?
Um, I don't even know. It was literally just after my fight with Matt Sablehouse. I guess he thinks I'm easy or something like that. I'm like, nah, bro. I can fight you easy. Like trust me. I took a
Okay.
40-pound weight cut to make that weight. Like that was not a good weight cut for me. Like personally, that just was not a good weight cut for me. I didn't do it right, and I
Mm-hmm.
learned my lesson from doing that. So now I know not to do that ever again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can broker that up because Mike has been on the show before as well.
hmm
We definitely love Mike as well. I mean, that would definitely be a good fight to see. You guys are both great at your craft, and the charisma. I like the charisma. I like all that action. So, uh, it'll be definitely good to see. Maybe we can work
Mm-hmm.
that out. Maybe we can make that happen. PFA 7.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Definitely. And so for you as a fighter, especially right now with you being amateur, because you listed off a lot of great promotions right now in Arizona between Rough, Rise, PFA, as well as anything else that's popping off. How important do you feel it is for you as an amateur fighter to really spread out where you fight? Because oftentimes you see where there's promotions that have oftentimes a local circuit that stays within that ecosystem. So do you feel it's important to kind of branch off like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's there's eyes and ears everywhere else, so it's like you have to branch out. I mean, all my fights were out of Rage in the Cage and Rage in the Ring,
Mhm.
so only having that circuit to promote myself isn't really the greatest because you really need different eyes, different ears from
Mhm.
other places, and just really pushing yourself out there and being like, yeah, I fight everywhere. I'll fight anyone. You know, I'll do it. I make weight.
Mhm.
If I make weight and the other person makes weight, fight's on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it definitely means a lot to be able to go in there, and especially, you see, the way, especially the sport has gotten. Traveling, you get into the wrong city against the wrong opponent. It's hard treading. It's a hard,
Mhm.
so being able to move around early on in your career, kind of have that possibility of getting a crowd favorite and going through that early on as well. It's such a mind game within this sport.
hmm I know for sure. I mean, my dad's told stories where they went to I think it was World Series of Fighting at the time, and Chris was fighting Timor, and that was one of Khabib's guys, and Chris had won
Ooh.
that fight, and all the Russians wanted to fight my dad and
Oh,
Chris
no.
and all of them. So I totally understand that. I got that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hey, it gets crazy sometimes, and that's why it's so wild with this industry because it's very much dictated by respect amongst your peers because we all can kick each other's ass, but obviously you don't want to have to escalate to that part unless you're gonna get paid some money for it.
Right.
But it's wild how like bro when something starts, then it's just a dive bomb. Everybody jumps in.
Right.
Especially them, man. It's crazy. Like I mean, Khabib's the one who stopped it all. Surprisingly enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's when he stepped in and was like, "No, we're not gonna fight."
It's like not here.
Yeah,
That's
not you.
crazy. So I know a little bit earlier, you were talking about that weight cut, how it was a very strenuous weight cut. Um, what Give us a little bit more insight on that. How did you Did you just sign up for the fight, and just have already a little bit heavy and just agreed to it off top, or what kind of happened there?
So, I think a lot of it was like I was kind of pushing 190 when it happened. So, I got the call and I was a month out, and they wanted me to fight Matt Sablehouse, and I was like, I mean, I got a month to cut this weight. I think I could probably do it. So it was like 40 pounds. I was hoping, a lot of it would just come off as soon as I went into training. I thought, I already had a fight, so I kind of ate a little too much. Kind of like I wasn't really
Mm.
thinking I was gonna get a call back immediately and start fighting. So it was like, okay, I'm just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
kind of pig out and eat. But I was pushing like 189 when I took the call and we took the fight. So I was like, okay, immediately went into weight cut and I had to do a lot of I had to do a lymphatic massage in order for me to lose some extra pounds before the
Oh
weight
wow.
cut. Yeah, which helped a lot.
Well, what
And
was that like? Where were you at when you went in for the massage?
I was over there with Ernie. So I think he does like recovery. So I just did that. I did a couple sessions with him, and then we went into this lymphatic massage, and then I went and took a ice bath, and all like literally the next day I lost like 6 7 pounds of weight.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and at this time I already cut like 25 pounds, and then I cut that much, and then the rest was water weight.
Wow. Wow. That's so now going through that, is that something that will kind of make you kind of prepare different in the future, kind of the way you run your everyday regimen or
Yeah, yeah. Right now, like I'm making sure I stay at 175, 178. Making sure I'm under 180 at all times. Just staying ripped. Just trying to stay as fit as possible. I'm making sure I'm taking in way more protein. I'm making sure that I'm watching what I'm eating, and I'm really just really just keeping myself at 175. 'Cause I feel like when I'm at 175, the weight cuts are really easy, especially getting to
Mhm.
155. Like I'm not sure if y'all know this, but I had to weigh in naked because of my underwear just made me just that much over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hate it when that happens when it's literally just so much, so little that you gotta literally just drop butt ass naked.
Yep, in a restaurant, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm already dehydrated. I don't even care. Like,
Like fuck it, bro, but go big or home.
I don't care if I gotta shave my head right now. I'm gonna shave my head right now. We're
hmm
making this
Just
weight.
like let's get this over with, bro.
it's
Like,
crazy though, like that's part of that journey, that you talk about, preparing to go pro.
hmm
We always talk about, do you have a plan? What is it? And some guys are like, no, I'm kind of filling it out. I think I know when I'm ready. And these are the conversations that kind of are put up as notches. All right, I got this down now. I know how
hmm
to handle this, or I know how to go in and what to look for in these type of areas. Or,
hmm
and because those are things that you might overlook, or people overlook as far as being prepared to become a pro or versus being prepared to or being an amateur currently.
hmm
hmm Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and like to make matters worse, I only gained like 17 back the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
Oh.
so small. I was like, why am like I ate everything I normally eat. I drank everything I normally drink, and I only gained 17 pounds back of the 40 I lost. And I was like, I at least wanted to gain 25, at least 30 maybe back. But so I was super weak in the whole fight. I was just weak going up to it. I think everything kind of just fell apart in that fight. Like anything that could have went wrong in that fight. So it was
Mm,
just it just wasn't my night, you know. So
yeah.
end of the
But
day, I mean, I just didn't do my part right, and then that's just what happened.
Yeah. And it's part of the learning journey too, because it's also while yes, it sucks, you kind of have to go through that loss and that learning experience, but it's great that it's happening during your amateur career because
Mhm.
part of that is that just like how that saying goes, if I remember it right, what was it? An amateur do it till they get it right, a pro does it till they never get it wrong. So
hmm
that's literally the whole purpose of you building your career and your skill set right now.
right,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
and learning your body. You know what I mean?
hmm
Learning your body is as much as possible, and those are when you hear the stories of the journey that they took to become the champ.
hmm
You hear that it's those little bitty things, a sudden change in the diet. I started eating, a little bit more of this and a little bit less of this, or I started doing a little bit more of this every day and a little bit less of this every day. And it's those sudden
hmm
things of just understanding your body to that point,
hmm
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and so what do you typically incorporate into your diet whenever you're going through a camp and then a weight cut? Because I know especially there's a lot of fighters and boxers that really go heavy on like spinach and avocado because of how water dense it is.
I always tell people it's chicken and rice for the rest of your life. Like that's it. That's I mean, and obviously I'll add in like vegetables, spinach,
Mhm.
like all protein shakes, like everything, like really just low carb, really high protein. Like protein is really what like really helps with like weight cuts
Mhm.
for sure. Like I try to get in 200 grams of protein a day, and that sounds like a lot, but I mean you have to get it in somehow. So you
Mhm.
figure out all your different ways of getting it in. You kind of learn what foods are high in protein, low in carb, especially like chicken. And like I'll tend to eat two chicken breasts a day
Mhm.
with rice and then other stuff and just all that.
What's your
See,
go-to snack?
Like snack wise, hmm.
you're gonna get.
This
I'm gonna
this
go
one's
get the
always the one
apple
that
and peanut
changes.
butter.
This is the one that always changes. You get a lot of variety here. You know, some people like the they cheat on it, and some people go super healthy, like you were just mentioning the protein. So that's why I asked.
Like it would. I mean, I'm big on protein bars. Like I'm big on protein cookies. Like I'm a cookie fiend. Like that's the hardest. Like
Okay.
cake, nah. Everything else, ice cream, nah. Like but a cookie, like I can't. Like that's my thing. Like I don't know. I'm the cookie monster. I'm over here. Like if I see a
That's
cookie,
me.
I'm like I gotta eat that shit.
Yep.
Hey, you should see me one of those days, and James can vouch. You give me a pack of freaking Oreos, I'll take two of those fools and dip them in some milk. Like, bro, I don't hold back with them.
See, I'm a baked cookie type of person. You know, you gotta put it in the oven for me. The
Oh
Oreos
my
is
god.
cool, but I'm a baked cookie.
I mean I'm a simple oatmeal raisin kind of guy, but like yeah, I like mine cooked and everything like that. But I tend to get those like I forget what it's called, like Lenny something cookie protein.
Yeah, the Lenny's.
Those things
Mhm.
are
Those things are pretty
bomb.
good. Those things are pretty
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion and say any type of mint cookie is nasty as hell. I'm sorry. Well, that's my truth, okay? And I'm sticking to it. I
Yeah,
can't
Hell
do mint
no.
cookie.
I
Not
agree.
even mint ice cream either. I feel
No,
like I'm
ice is
eating
good.
gum.
Ew.
Man, the mint thins from the Girl Scout cookies, I'll be tearing them up sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
No, you don't like the mint thins? Those
I
are
can't.
good though.
I can't do it. It's just the mint. Like I feel like I'm just eating a bunch of Tic Tacs, bro. It's just it
Gotta
gets
put them
me.
in the freezer, Josh. You gotta put them in the freezer.
Hey,
No,
hey.
that's worse, bro. That's
What?
worse. That's worse. That's like sticking ice out in the summer.
What up, Davian? What's up to everybody watching on Instagram? You know, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Jared, we'll see you next week or this week coming up. PFA 6. Can't wait. Can't wait. Um, you know, that's gonna be big. So I do want to ask a little bit more. High school, were you wrestling or anything in high school?
So the funny thing about that is I was homeschooled for like my whole life.
Okay.
So I mean, yes, I was wrestling because as soon as I got done with my school, I went to my dad's gym right across the street. I just walked to
Hmm.
it and hit the mats.
So
Yeah, it's
so
like
you
growing
watched them
up.
fight a lot live then, did you?
Hmm.
Yeah. How was that kind of growing up? You know, seeing that often. I mean, of course, a lot of kids see the sparring, the this and that, but being at his events and seeing him, you know, fight a couple of times in the night and seeing back then the way those fights went, the different rules and things. How was it for you to watch
Well, I never like necessarily saw my dad fight like at events. I definitely watched a bunch of videos he's had, so I
that?
get to like personally see videos that probably other people haven't seen. Um,
Hmm.
so I would have loved to have gone to some events, but I was a little young, and I don't think he wanted us to like. I don't think he wanted to bring us there, because
Yeah.
in case
Especially
he ever
back
got
then.
knocked out.
Yeah, and so with that too, like well, first I'm gonna give a shout out to Arizona Health and Living because she commented saying, "No, love my mint Girl Scout cookies and ice cream. That's my favorite." I still can't do it, but no, but so like, say for example, if your dad did actually take you to all those fights and you witnessed something like that, or it was just like a brutal, bloody war, do you
Hmm.
feel that could have possibly swayed if you would have ever gotten into fighting or not? Like it would have pushed you away?
Heck no, I love the sport too much. Like it's a weird thing to say, but like pain to me is just like it makes me feel alive. Like
Yeah.
inflicting pain, fighting people, like seeing another man bleed, like everything that like what Sean Strickland says is like the truth. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it makes you feel alive. Like it
Mm-hmm.
makes the only time in life that you feel like you're just connected with the universe at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You got that itch you satisfy.
Hmm.
so that takes me to my question. It's double. Who would you say that you kind of like, besides outside of your dad, like anybody else that you say that kind of pushed you towards the sport that you used to watch? Anybody and kind of why they pushed you that way?
Um, I mean, I would say, I mean, a lot of people didn't really push me to it. I mean, because like my mom, she was really against it. She's like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to. So I always had like negative pushback. Like why would you do this? Like, so it was necessarily just like the love for
Well,
the sport in general.
well, when I asked that, I meant anybody that influenced you as far as fighting wise, any fighters, anybody that you were
Oh,
kind of watching that way.
yeah, there's a lot of different. Like, I'm more of an old head when it comes to fighters. So like Andy
Okay.
Hug, Fedor. Like
Ooh.
watching him fight is just like that's what you need to do when you fight. Like you have to be ruthless and just like emotionless and like just
Yep. Stone cold.
go out there with no smile on your face and you're about to go kill a man.
Yep.
Fedor was crazy back in the day, man. Fedor was, and it was crazy too, the mystique of Fedor, because we didn't even get to see real like consistent fights of Fedor until like recently, like after as he was older.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Not only that too, but with Fedor, like one of the things I like so much about him is that you could literally pull up pictures and videos of him getting picked up and slammed on his head, and he has
No
still the
emotion.
same stone cold face, bro. The same stone cold face. Even when he gets slammed on his head, looking like he snapped his neck, he gets back up and puts that fool out. Like, bro.
Just reminds me of every time I look, I'm like, that song plays. I could just kill a man.
I mean, and then you
No,
got Crow Cobb, like that
yeah,
roundhouse kick that he
Ooh,
had, like, shoo.
bro. I still
that
can't
thing
get
can
over
make
when
me.
he got caught with that same roundhouse kick in the UFC, bro.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that was crazy to him go down in his own kryptonite. He was his
Mm-hmm.
own killing weapon. Um, anybody that you would say that resembles your game or that you kind of go after in that
I
necessary?
I mean, the only person that I could say that like fights in a similar way I fight it would be Chris Alguapo. Like that, like he
Okay.
again, he's in Factory X, like really teaching like his own style, but it's also like my dad's style because my dad is the main person who really showed him how to fight. When this kid was 13, rolling in on a bike in my dad's gym, I mean, that's where it all started for him. So just
Nice.
seeing that he could get up there from where I started in the same town, it's like, okay, I could do it too. You know, I could push myself to be in the exact same area, like, you know, and sparring him and just having those sessions with him, like even when he was a pro and like he's knocked multiple people out, it's like, okay, well, it's nice to have that push and it's nice to see that like where it doesn't matter where you're from, you can make it
Mm-hmm.
if you try hard enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Right.
just like what Sean Strickland said too. Fighting is the common man sport.
Hmm.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more and more. It's growing more and more and more every day. You're
Yep.
seeing so many different more outlets for fighters to get an opportunity in. And kind of like you were talking about earlier, kind of spread your wings, and just get different experiences at such an early stage of the career. And it's if you see the the higher level of competition as far as promotions go, you can
Mm-hmm.
see it. You can see the result. Guys are younger, entering at a higher spotlight and taking on greater competition way younger into their careers now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so for a question that I want to ask you, Seth. So if you could have anybody in your corner, so that one person added to your corner for a single fight, they could be in any sport. They don't even have to be in sports. They could be alive or dead. We've had people say Ali. We've had people say Bruce Lee. We've had people say all kinds of people. So if you could have one person, who would it be?
I mean, it's gonna sound. I mean, my dad, like, I would want him in my corner at all times. That
Yeah.
man is the fight guru, and I grew up hearing his voice all my life. So just like that's, as soon as he says something, I do it. As soon as he says
Mm-hmm.
do that, I do it. It's like instinctual in my brain to hear his voice and know what to do immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys have that relationship for so long.
Hmm.
Nice. I like that answer.
Yeah, that's different. We've talked to a few people, and they've always said the same thing. It's different having your dad there. It's different having that man that you grew up with, because, like you said, that instinctive recognition of that voice,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes a long way to be able to hear and be able to understand to actually take in those instructions, in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's the same thing as like Stephen Thompson and Ray Thompson. Like they have the same relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
father and son, and his dad goes to all his events, and his dad's in his corner and yelling at the same things, and it's just like that's what you need. You need familiarity when you're fighting because you're in a place of you're in a storm, like you're just like you have to weather the storm that of
Mm-hmm.
whatever could happen, and you need that familiarity to kind of separate you from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially too when you're stepping out into that storm, you got to be tethered to something at least. So
Mhm.
for you, especially being your dad too, it's it's not like you're going in with it and you have a coach that you've only known for a couple years and you're still trying to build that bond, and then you still have the risk of them screwing you over. No, with it being your dad and him having the background he has in and experience, it literally does nothing but work in your favor, and it works tenfold for you as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like over the years, like I'm the same way. Like of my dad, we'll sit back, we'll watch old fights, or we'll watch my own fights, or we'll just sit back and watch random fights, and we're sitting there going back and forth. Oh, should have done that. We do
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, and just like we just have this connection already where we already know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice. One other question I had for you. Um, what's your go-to meal after a weight cut?
After weight cut, so it's what is it? It's pasta salad. That
Okay.
is my
Okay.
go-to. Pasta salad. I eat the whole thing. It is so good. I make it homemade. I make it myself. Delicious.
Hey, do you make the pasta yourself too?
Oh yeah, protein pasta and everything. I go all the
Nice,
way.
nice.
Nice. See,
That's
I wish
always
I knew how to
another
make
one.
pasta.
We're gonna have to work on that, Josh. We're gonna have to get some pasta
Hey,
ready.
I'll let you do it, James. Don't worry.
Just don't burn the water.
Right?
How do you burn the water? I don't know. You
Hey
told me
man,
turn on, I turn on.
bad cooks, bad cooks out there. Burn air, man. Um,
Oh
man,
man.
but so you said you want to be active this year. What can we kind of expect? Do you have a number of fights that you're targeting? What's the outlook for Seth this year?
So I mean, if I could, because you also have to worry about injuries, and you gotta be injury free as much as possible, which is hard because you're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say every month. Like if I could fight every month or every other month, that would be perfect for me. I want to do every month. I want to be as active as possible. Like it don't matter if it's Muay Thai, MMA, kickboxing, K1. I'm in it. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So that way you could be as diverse and capable, especially too with 2025. If that's going to be the year you want to debut as a pro, especially be beneficial.
hmm I mean, I only need I'm already at 5 fights right now, so I want to get more MMA fights because I'm 1-1 in MMA, so I would love to get more MMA fights, like 'cause that's where I need to go, and like
Mm-hmm.
And there's other places, like other outlets too. Like if I could really get my Muay Thai or my kickboxing up there, I could go to Glory. I would love to go to Glory. Glory sounds like, Glory or One FC. They're great too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, especially One FC, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Seth, what do you think about the PFL and Bellator?
So, I mean, I would love to go to the PFL. I think that would just be like that would be a dream come true. As for them fighting each other, who I think is better champions, I don't know. PFL is better than Bellator, but I mean, there's some good Bellator champs right now.
They got, oh my gosh, bro, they got
Pitbull.
Tiago versus Yo Romero.
That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be a
Gonna
banger,
good.
bro. Banger.
But there's some guys that I just think over on the Bellator side, it's gonna be hard for them to beat. It's gonna be hard for them to beat like Pitbull. I don't know if PFL have it in them. Right, Bader. That's another one. Ryan. That's
Yep.
another one, man.
For real. It hurt PFL too, though. What was it? Her name, Kayla Harrison. How she just all of a sudden she was supposed to be on that PFL versus Bellator, but then she switched over to UFC.
Yeah, last minute.
That's gonna be interesting to see her cut down to 135.
Yeah. When is the
like?
I think it's at 140 or 140.
Yeah.
Oh, she fights like 145, does she?
No, she fights at 155.
Does she?
Yeah, Kayla Harrison, she fights at 155. So there's been a bunch of people that's been speculating that she's gonna miss weight.
I mean,
shit.
That's a 20. That's 2 weight classes down, bro. That's a big jump down. And you see how big she is? Like, she is shredded, bro.
That's what I thought. I was like,
right?
No, I thought she's a little bigger. I was like, what?
She could flex her bicep and crush a watermelon with it.
Jeez.
that was kind of interesting. I felt like that was last minute when she popped in.
It was like a sweep in.
Right. Have that fire.
Have the fire can all times. Oh my
god. Yeah, no, but this past weekend was crazy. When is that PFL versus Bellator one? Is that coming up the next weekend or the weekend after?
I'm actually not sure. I know it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, because they just sent us some coverage stuff on it the other day. It is February 24th.
Oh, so it's this weekend as well. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, and you know what? Because we're talking about the bigger leagues, UFC 300. What was your take, Seth, on the fight between Henry Cejudo and Merab?
You mean 298?
Oh yeah, 298.
So I kind of thought like I had Merab winning like for sure because I mean I just think Henry, I don't know why he retired the way when he was on top. I don't know why he did that. I think that kind of hurt him in a sense because he waited too long. So I mean it's not like he's a bad fighter. He's a good fighter, but Merab just is a different kind of animal. And I mean, there's different things that he would do that I definitely don't think like he could do against like Sean O'Malley. Like Sean O'Malley would knock him the fuck out. So it's kind of like I had Merab winning, but I mean, I feel like he could have been a little bit safer in that fight. I don't know why because he got clipped. He got clipped.
Oh yeah, he got rocked a couple times, and he kept.
That was in the beginning though, and I felt like
no, that was what he clipped and rocked Merab. Then Merab rocked him, I think, once in the second, and then once in the third.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When Merab got rocked in the beginning, right? Yeah. So, and I think after that, Merab felt like he couldn't hurt him. I just felt like he showboated in a totally different manner that, like, almost like, why is he here type of thing. No disrespect to Cejudo, but he wasn't showboating like for the crowd, like he was showboating like this dude is not supposed to be in the ring with him. Then to
He made a
your
statement.
he did make a statement, but to Seth, to kind of what you were saying, he was very reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Absolutely.
reckless.
And you see his legs too. Like his legs used to be yoked. They're like half the size. So I was telling James that I think it's the age and the wear and tear from all the injuries that caught up with Henry. Because like he blocked one kick and it fucked up his forearm, like you saw.
That picture was bad. I saw that. Like,
That was brutal.
I was
Did
like, damn.
anybody confirm if it was broke or anything?
I'm actually not sure. I've been waiting to see some news on it, but I'm sure we'll see in the next day or so.
It had a
It looked
dent.
broke.
Yeah, it had a dent.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
then I noticed the later of the last round, he couldn't defend a takedown. It's like he had one arm that he
Mm-hmm.
was
mm-hmm.
using, and the other one like he couldn't put pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Michael Chandler still calling out Conor McGregor. Bro, I'm
WWE, come
bruh,
on,
I feel
man!
like at this point it's gonna be in WWE. He was supposed to fight at the beginning of the year. Now he's supposed to ain't fight until July. Like, bro, what the fuck is going on behind the scenes?
It's gonna be a
Connor,
WrestleMania.
Connor's
Oh,
not
bro,
coming
really?
back.
Nah,
Connor's
they
not
go into that backyard brawl and shit, bro.
street
It's
beef.
gonna be a WrestleMania, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a street beefs.
It's
Oh
gonna have
man,
to.
one championship in BK. Uh, bare knuckle, man.
See, bare knuckle fighting, I think that's gonna be a short-lived thing because
I,
the toll it's gonna take on the fighters it's gonna you're gonna see it affect the economics
what
in
you
maybe
think?
like a
Think
5-10
fighters
year
are gonna
period.
start? You think fighters are gonna stop getting old?
No, not saying old, but you're gonna start to see more the serious effects from that type of damage. Because think about it. If we worry about boxers getting CTE with having gloves on, what do you think that these bare knuckle fighters are going through when it's full bone to dome?
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's some
Yeah, so I
fights
think
where their heads are swollen, and I'm like, oh,
the chicks too, like
oh
that's gonna
yeah.
take a toll. I don't think that I think it's gonna be a bit of a short-lived sport.
So Seth, there's a question for you. What would you do different in your next fight?
Definitely not cut 40 pounds.
That's a good one.
That was top number one.
That's
uh,
funny.
Just keep
no,
doing what
I
I'm doing right now. Just keep training.
Yeah.
no, but going back to the bare knuckle thing, I honestly think that bare knuckle it has a niche that it will be around for a while. If we compare it to boxing, you're getting hit 100 times, 80 times by a guy that knows how to execute a punch. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Versus bare knuckle, we might connect 30, 40, maybe 30 times, and 15 of them be power punches, or 10 of them be power punches. We're out of there. That fight's over. And I think a lot of times too, we're seeing former MMA fighters either in the latter stage of
Mhm.
their career as far as age is concerned,
Mhm.
or we're seeing guys who just didn't quite catch in the UFC, and they're switching over pretty early and making a career for themselves over in
Yeah.
BK. I don't think we're gonna have guys over there for 10 years. I don't think we're gonna have guys over there for 8 years. Like
Mhm.
a normal, I think, decent
Like
career
4
for
or
them is
5
maybe
years.
2 to 5 years. Yep.
Yeah, because like especially too when you think about it as well. When you look at the like how we say that the line between amateur and pro is really thinning out. When you look at bare knuckle fighting being in the youth as it is right now, it's going to be like that. And then as we see it develop, there's going to be a lot more craftiness to it, more development, and that's where you're going to see where like in boxing you have that more precision striking to get those higher numbers. We'll probably start to see that with bare knuckle fighting as well, because there's going to be more incentive to develop an arsenal to better execute in it.
Yeah, no, and Damien has a point here. He says NFL players get CTE with gear on. What would be the difference? And Damien, to kind of get back at what you're saying, that's kind of how I feel, because they're not getting the same amount of damage over and over and
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. as you see with, you know, boxing and
Mm-hmm.
NFL or something like that. So I think it found a niche, and I think it's gonna stick around. I mean, honestly, guys, we're barbarians at the end of the day.
Here we
we,
are, a
we
show about fighting.
we enjoy fighting, man. Like, it's since the beginning of time. It's one of the first sports
Mm-hmm.
around. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
there's room for it. There will always be room for it.
Shit, they got enough room in a phone booth to do some fighting in Russia.
That shit crazy.
You see that?
Convertible fighting, like
That
Right?
shit
choke him out of
Convertible
the seatbelt.
crazy.
jiu-jitsu, like, bro, that's
The
right. There
wrestling
was one.
basketball.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's actually a sport in Russia too. With a wrestling basketball,
Mm-hmm.
like Habib and his team play that all the time.
I swear, bro. You ain't
Mad.
you ain't snatching me out of the air in a German suplex when
They
I'm
just
trying to do a
imagine.
layup.
Yeah,
Hell
you
no.
try to do a layup and they just come catch you mid-air, fucking slam you. Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Get suplexed.
Imagine with the
Man,
trampolines too, how they're doing some places. You get suplexed down and then you just fly right back up and fucking face plant somewhere.
Oh
nah,
man.
man, Seth. Before we let you go, man, anything you want to say? Any shout outs you want to leave? Words you want to leave us with?
I mean, big shout out to all the people that have been supporting me from the start. Like just everybody back at home in Texas, where I'm from, and people here in Arizona. Just having that support and having those people behind me, and it makes fighting a lot more enjoyable. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you're fighting and you're getting punched in the face and getting kicked in the body and whatnot. And it's all fun and games, but that shit hurts at the end of the
Yep,
day.
for real.
So having everybody behind you really, really is awesome, and I'm just really happy for where I'm at right now, and I'm really ready to step up, and I'm really ready to show people that I'm not just some kid anymore. I'm the man. I'm the fucking man.
Hey, what's
Hey,
So
that?
that's
What's
what's
that
up.
50 Cent song? I'm the man. Feeling
I'm the
like the man
man.
right now.
I'm-
But
yeah,
definitely, man. And I hope we can get you booked on this next one. If not the next one, PFA 8 for, the latest.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm talking to Todd right now, so we're looking at some people.
Mike Kennedy,
Maybe
perhaps.
Mike Kennedy, perhaps. Like, where you at? Let's go. No, I mean Mike's a cool guy. Mike's a good guy, and
No,
end of the
he's really
day,
cool.
like it's all love. But you got to sell it.
Exactly.
Hey, well, it sounds like some people from Flagstaff are trying to come down and watch it. So the fight would be sold. It sounds like it's already sold.
Hmm.
Hey,
I'm
man,
ready.
but either way, Seth, I hope we find you an opponent right away. I'm looking forward to seeing you get back in the ring or the octagon, whichever one comes first.
Hey, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate being here. Thank y'all so much. This has been a good podcast. I love this shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man. We appreciate you, man. Glad you liked that intro too.
Hell yeah. Shoot, I'm gonna have my own intro next time. I'm gonna do you one.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, all right, bro. Well, we'll see you and talk to you soon.
Hey, peace out. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, peace,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank y'all.
Man, no, that's another fun one. Another fun one. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Definitely got a lot more fan engagement too in this one. I liked it a lot.
yeah, no, the triangle 3-sided ring. Yeah, man. I don't know how that's a thing. Yeah, no. Let's go back over here. Do I think Connor is done? Man, I don't know if Connor. I don't know if it's Connor. I don't know if it's Connor.
With
Uh,
with the fighting being delayed.
I think yes. I think the UFC is delaying him, but
Yep.
I think Connor doesn't want to fight anywhere else. So I think there's a dilemma. I think
Mm-hmm.
the UFC is not trying to pay Connor what he wants to get paid, and I
Mm-hmm.
think Connor is like, well, fuck you, I'll wait. But at the same time, you're not about to see him at PFL. We're not about to see him fly over to one championship. We're not about to. So Connor is in a conundrum, like
Mm-hmm.
straight up. He's in a conundrum.
Only other thing that he'd pose any opportunity is if he decided to go over to boxing or if he decided to do the bare knuckle fighting.
And I think Conor is a decent boxer from what we've seen. But at the same time, he would step into a killer's division in that division, like going over to like box like real time. And there's some killers right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
dangerous out there. Like,
Fuck. Wouldn't he be fighting fucking guys like Tank Davis or some shit?
what is Conor at? What's Conor?
Yeah, he fights like 155, although he likes to stick at 170 more so now.
I was
So
gonna
he'd be
say
he'd be
like
fighting more like
boxing, he
Canelo
probably wants. Oh yeah, he'd be probably
because
like
Canelo's at
Benavidez.
170, 175.
Yeah, he'd be like Benavidez and then like uh Tank. He can go down and fight Tank, or might mess around and end up with a Haney or like I don't know. There's nowhere for them in that 150 to 180 range for him to really be getting in the ring and be safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every trap or everything's gonna be a trap.
Mm-hmm. Because you better not get in the ring with no Tank. You better not want to be.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's a lot.
I see Antonio.
Antonio.
Yes, sir. We both pressing the button.
Shoot, I'm like, what the heck is going on?
He said, "Pull up to Rise of Prospects. Love watching you guys. Appreciate you, Antonio. Hope you're doing great out there in Thailand. We're definitely, or no, wait a second. Sorry, I got two different Antonios.
I
Remember,
was
we got
looking. I said, no, that's not that Antonio.
yeah, I know. It's because I was talking to Vin earlier, and so I had our boy Antonio that went out to Thailand. I had that in mind, but yeah, we got Antonio Martinez, who's also going to be fighting Rise of the Prospects.
Right. Speaking of event, that's another event that's coming up. We gotta let you guys know about if you don't already know. What date is that? Did he give us a date on that already?
I think it's March 16th. It's over at the Stratus Event Center.
I believe it is. Check our Instagram. It will be shout out soon. But yes, they're doing a lot
Yes,
over
sir.
there too, man. There's just so much great stuff happening in the state of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it really is, and it's looking like 2024 is probably gonna be one of the hottest years. Yeah, like 2022, epic. 2023 ended up being even bigger. In 2024, it's really gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely is. Connor's scared to come back because he knows once he comes back, he'll be able to fight him.
I'm dead.
Hey, I wouldn't even be surprised the day he come back, Khabib just shows up. That
Nah, bro, we would see. Remember that movie Grudge Match with Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone?
yeah.
We're gonna see that with them too. You gonna see a 53-year-old Conor McGregor and a 55-year-old Khabib. They're gonna be throwing it down in the octagon.
Hey, Mama McPherson. She just gave us a shout out on Instagram. We can't wait. We are that is gonna be a fight and a half. These are one of the bittersweet ones. As far as competition wise, this is going to be a fabulous fight. John Henry, Naeem McPherson.
It's gonna be epic, bro.
If you guys have not seen either one of them fight yet, I guarantee this is the one you don't want to miss. This is going to be fireworks. Me and
Honestly, I
Josh,
would say main event contender.
fight of the night, definitely a fight of the night contender. And me and Josh always talk about being in this position where you just, you know, enjoy, the two people that are about to step in the ring and fight each other, from so many sides and different aspects. And these two guys are definitely on top of my list as far as the PFA circuit goes. So I'm excited, but definitely one of those ones I'm gonna be doing like this.
I know, dude. It's like the bittersweetness of every event is becoming ever so present because it's like we get so invested in this shit. And now, especially with all the different things we're doing and covering, it's like, bro.
Man, No, it definitely is. But yeah, shout out to Mama McPherson
Mm-hmm.
and both Naeem and John. Good luck this weekend. I can't wait. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna be a war.
Yeah,
Uh,
we got a
there's a
lot
lot.
coming up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say there's a lot on that card.
Yeah, bro. I think there's like right now as it is like 17, 18 fights.
Yeah. Um, there's so many good ones on that one. We got Ab- Amusai's back. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen Amusai since PFA 1. I'm really excited to see him
He's gonna be
return.
fighting Joe and Stanley.
Yes, yes, Joe and Stanley is going to be questions for y'all. I think Varner hasn't made his return because he lost the allegation that was assaulting a woman at a club.
I thought that was actually already settled. Because I remember that whole court case already got settled and taken care of.
Wasn't it settled recently, like within the last like month or month and a half?
No, it was settled like 3 months ago. Like it got settled a month after that whole thing happened because that was at the NBA game, right?
I think it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like after a month that it happened, boom, it got settled.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not sure if it was that. Like I said, I think I honestly think Connor is a bit of arrogance and a bit of Dana White. Smash those two together, and you got your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think like I said, I think Connor has a dollar amount. I think that he has conditions. I think that Dana White is done kissing his butt because he's not doing what he wants him to do anymore, and he's not going to meet those exact conditions. And whether
Mm-hmm.
they're able to meet in the middle is going to be another big thing. Plus, you got to also remember, man, Michael Chandler right now is active in a sense.
He's working now, but right now he's waiting on like I think what was the last person he fought? Wasn't it Justin Gaethje? Or no, it was Tony
Yeah.
Ferguson, huh?
It was Ferguson, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think that, like you said, he was about to be. He would have still been active if this Connor thing didn't come up.
Yep. Yep.
And I think now that's what's called that's also throwing a wrench in things because I think he also has a number.
Mm-hmm. And Michael Chandler too, especially like him. If he wants to be a champion, him waiting on Conor McGregor, it ain't gonna get him that level, and it's only pushing him further out of prime. So he's only hurting his own career right now in the UFC. Right now, it's solely just to cash out with fighting Conor.
Well, that's the only reason he came to the UFC in the first place.
Well, he wanted the belt, but I mean, at this point, I
Yeah.
think he's already accepted he ain't gonna get it. So he's just gonna put on a banger of a show every time.
Well, everybody wants the belt, but you
Mm,
make that jump for the money.
yep.
But I also feel the same way about MVP. I
Well,
feel the same way
actually,
about
I would counter that because remember in Bellator, the fighters actually get paid more. Well, used to
no. As
base
a
pay.
whole, on average, yes, they're getting paid more. But the big guys are getting big guys. You're
Oh
getting
yeah, of course.
the big guys in UFC are getting big paychecks.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, you make that jump because of money. You don't just I mean, yeah, you get fame, but Chandler already had the fame over where he was. He didn't need UFC for that.
Hmm.
You know
Well,
what I mean? He was
I don't know.
everybody was
To be honest, I didn't even know who Mike Chandler was until he joined the UFC.
you crazy.
No, I'm senile.
But it's like MVP. I feel the same. I feel that way about MVP. I think MVP came for the money because he
Mm,
already had his career established. Everybody already knew who he was. It was one of
mm,
those waiting things for him,
mm-hmm.
and he came way late.
Way late. I would have loved to see MVP in UFC 5 years ago.
Man, I don't even know what the divisions would have looked like at that time. Then
Mm-hmm.
he would have fucked some shit up.
Especially see how he goes against a lot more of the wrestlers and the jiu-jitsu guys that be in that division too. Like, bruh,
Yeah,
damn, that'd be crazy.
everybody got their reasoning for certain stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Man, but again, you guys, if you didn't already hear, if you haven't seen Blasting on the Internet, PFA 6. We are ready to go this weekend. We have a stacked card. We have a lot of new faces, a lot of returning faces. We got some title fights. We got some number one contender bouts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff going down on this card. If you haven't been to a PFA event, this is one to come to. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. You got to start off the year with the bang, too, man. Coming in hot with throwing hands with ASAP Sports, PFA, and everything else being built together. Like, this is a whole new playing field, bro. So it's cool the fact that, straight up, you see a lot of this stuff happening where it's more so an established center. But in true actuality, you're having this whole system established by just a couple of misfit kids with some big dreams. And the fact that we're seeing such fruits of our labor and it's having such a positive effect is probably the best thing ever.
100%, man. 100% for sure.
Shanig, man. Fuck with ASAP Sports Network, man. Tune in, stay logged in, and stay mouthed in. You dig? Yuck mouth. Yada da. Boy!
Before we get out of here, Josh, anything you want to say?
Nah, as always, peace, love, chicken grease. It's always a privilege to get to talk with these fighters, get to just sit and chill and whatnot.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm excited to get back in. It's been too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rough coming up. PFA coming up.
Southeast Asian Alliance Grand Prix tournament.
Yes, Grand Prix tournament coming up. There's a lot of stuff.
Ooh,
Arizona
Golden Cobra, K1 kickboxing as well.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. If you're a fight fan, there's a lot of stuff coming up, guys. And
yes, sir.
Your way around. Pay-per-views being sold on PremierFightingAlliance.com or ASAP Sports. And we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm. Peace.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They gon' knock him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, can see when I look in your iris. You likely to talk but not ready to ride. You do better keeping it quiet. My pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened. I like who I am, but I'm biased. The palette is right and my drip is a fountain. I'm not like these regular guys. All of that talk is misguided. She like the way I make the
All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, it's a motion. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes. We know what's happening in the league. All sports, all plays, ASAP. Cause we know what's going down with your team. We'll bring you up to speed ASAP. Not talking about Rihanna's baby daddy, it's the network covering every play that's happening in the ring, on the field, on the courts, on the lane. We gon' cover the game, all sports, all play. All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, it's a motion. All sports,